y'all, we are doing another 1200 calorie day. I know y'all love these and they're fun to do. I just wanted to come up with some new things because I'm always eating that same tortilla thing, that salad tortilla. So I mean, I eat that practically every day. So I had to come up with a new day that didn't include that for y'all. So it was Jessica. So Diva Jessica was the one who wanted this. So my calorie intake where I'm happiest is 1200 calories a day. And that's just called, I'm 52 years old, my metabolism has slowed down. I do exercise most days, but if I want to stay at my goal weight, which is 125, that's it, 1200 calories. If I go much over that, I need to really ramp up the exercise that day, or I pay for it the next few days by just calorie restricting a little bit. Maybe do like 1100 or even 1000 calories if I've been really indulgent. But that said, I'm eating a lot of nutrient-dense food. I eat very little in the way of processed food. I eat no sugar, so, and pretty low on carbs. So we'll see. So let's get into it. So I start my day with coffee and oat milk, and it's 50 calories. Of course, you know, I just measure it out, so I know that it's 50 calories. And then I'll either do a couple of eggs or I'll have some smoked salmon. This morning I did smoked salmon on toast. I use gluten-free toast, a little bit of Laughing Cow cheese, and arugula. That whole thing with the coffee, the salmon, and the toast is 400 calories. So I start my day off. Now, my breakfast, I don't do the coffee. I do the coffee at like 6:30 or 7. And then I have my breakfast is usually 10:30 or 11. I'm really not hungry until then because I started doing the kind of restricted time window, the intermittent fasting thing, and it really worked for me. I don't need to eat first thing in the morning. I'm just not hungry. If you're not hungry in the morning, don't eat in the morning. I'm really not hungry, truly hungry where my stomach is growling until around 10:30 or 11. So just wait until you get that cue, that signal from your body, then you have your breakfast. So there we are, 400 calories in with a nice salmon breakfast on toast with a little bit of Laughing Cow and maybe some arugula sprinkled on top. Next, lunch is usually around 1:30, 2 o'clock, something like that. Today, I'm having this delicious salad made with striped bass that Eric caught locally off of Long Island. And it's 4 ounces of striped bass with a little bit of mayonnaise. It's like a little bit of mayonnaise and a little bit of plain yogurt, plain just Greek yogurt, nice thick yogurt. Mix them together and it goes a long way. And then I did a lot of freebies. So I grated up carrots, I chopped up celery really fine, I put in some green peppers. These are all freebies. Carrots, not so much, but I didn't put a ton in, but whatever, it's a vegetable. I kind of don't count it because they're so good for you. Leave the skin on, grate it up, and chopped all these together. Plus I had a ton of fresh cilantro from the garden. I have fresh parsley out there. I chop all that up and make it it's really herby and green. And so it's about 4 ounces of fish, which gives you, it's only 110 calories. 4 ounces of a light flaky fish like this is 110 calories. So then you can really bulk it up with all the veg, and I have it on a bed of arugula, and I have 2 of these little gluten-free crisp breads. I like this brand, Char. They're really good, and 2 of them is only 55 calories, so whatever, that's fine. It's nothing. And it's just a nice little, so that's my lunch, and it's very filling. You could add another freebie. Maybe sometimes I would slice up, we're just now starting to get some better tomatoes. So I might even slice up a couple tomatoes and eat it on there also. So that will be my lunch for today. Tonight for dinner, we are having, oh my gosh, we're doing beer can chicken. I just love that. And oh, I'll put the final product up on Instagram. Not in my stories, I'll put it just a regular post on Instagram so it'll stay up there. So whenever you're discovering this video, you can scroll through and find it, the final product of beer can chicken, because I put it in my stories a bunch because I like to dress them up and put little hats on them and just anthropomorphize the chicken because it's whatever, it's fun. So let me just show you how I do this. So this morning I dry brined it, which consists of, see, look at him sitting there, isn't he cute? It consists of You pat the chicken down, cover it with salt, paprika, garlic powder all around and in the cavity. And then I plopped them on top of, we didn't have a beer can, we just had bottled beer, so I just poured some beer into a mason jar. And then you set him down on top of it. See, he's resting on that mason jar. And then you stick him in the fridge and it dry brines for, I mean, I've had him in there for like 6 hours, 7 hours, something like that. I did it earlier this morning. And it just it dries out the skin and it makes it super, super crispy when you go to cook it. And I just cook it like 400 for 30 or 40 minutes, 400 for 45 minutes. And then temp it, 165 in the dark meat. And it's easy to do. Pull it out, let it rest. The skin is so crispy. It's delicious. And I'm making it with sweet potatoes. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna have for tonight. It'll be the equivalent of about 1 cup of chicken. I like to think of it in a cup because you might not always be getting out your scale to measure. So think of it as a cup of chicken, and that's 230 calories. I'm gonna do mashed sweet potatoes, and this is such a great addition to sweet potatoes. The red curry paste, I'm doing 4 big potatoes and maybe a tablespoon of this, cinnamon, salt, that's it. And they are so sweet, and I didn't, so far I haven't even I'll put butter probably before I serve it to the kids and Eric. I'll put a little pat of butter on each of theirs, but on mine I won't put any butter on it. So that gives me 1 cup of plain mashed potatoes without butter is 250 calories. So we've got 230 for the chicken, 250 for the mashed sweet potatoes, and then I'm gonna do a kale salad, so I'll probably have about 100 calories worth of oil. The kale's a freebie, the lemon juice is a freebie. And that's a lot of food. Because I'm gonna do a nice, big, beautiful kale salad. Like I said, the sweet potatoes are so good, they're just spot on. All right, so we talked about freebies, and some of y'all were asking, like, are certain things freebies or not? Just look on the calories. If it's got like 5 calories, 10 calories or below, I consider it a freebie. So any kind of hot sauces, oh, my loves. These two are my totally in constant rotation. Freebies, that's freebie. All this stuff that I was telling you about, any kind of these veggies, high water content vegetables, these are all, you can't eat too much of these kind of things. So I don't count those calories. I just don't count them. Plus they're so good for you. They fill you up. They got lots of fiber, lots of good things going on. So that's the freebies. The other thing I cannot impress enough how important this is, to write it down. Especially these days. I mean, I know the future, I don't know what the future holds, but I think a lot more people are gonna be working from home, spending more time at home. It's very tempting because your kitchen is right there. There's not as much structure. It helps so much to write it down. These are a few weeks worth of my, my food diary. So yeah, it's crazy. And I'll fill up the whole thing and then turn it over and I'll fill up all this. But then I note down like what I did for exercise. So there was one day where I was just like, oh my gosh, Eric was in here and he was making popcorn at like 9 o'clock at night, but it smelled so good. So of course I ate a whole thing of popcorn. I didn't work out. The next day I was up 2 pounds. Purely it's water weight, from all the salt, but I was holding myself accountable. So the next day I cut way back and I only had about 900 calories and I made sure I got 10,000 steps because the day before I did nothing and I went way over. I was like at 1,500 or 1,600 calories, which is way too much for me. I'm not that big. I'm not like the super muscle girl. I'm fairly active, but like I said, it's age too. Like your metabolism does slow down even if you keep weight-bearing exercises, lifting weights, doing all the cardio, but it's okay. I mean, just as long as you keep a handle on it. So there you go, write it down. All right, Jessica and all my darling divas across the world, scattered far and wide. I hope that helps you. On Instagram, I am at the Care and Feeding of Divas. So let's play on Instagram if you want. And I'm gonna go have my lunch now. Oh, wine counts. So count your calories and so I exercised today. I went for a little run, a walk. I exercised for about an hour and 10 minutes. I probably burned 350 calories. So I'll add that to my wine budget. So that's how I work it. So if you're gonna have wine, just make sure you get out there and shake your booty. All right, y'all stay as glamorous as you can stand to be.